Hey, second grade teachers, it's my understanding that you are in the middle of a frog unit, and I thought I would share some resources I found. I will try to mark this video with time segments so that you can zoom ahead if you're familiar with these already and want to find something else. One of them is Safari Montage, and by the way, the majority of these I have gotten from the West Salem Elementary School LMC Resources tab and got to the links from that direction. And I'm currently showing you this through my iPad, so I wanted you to realize that if you were doing station work, you could set these up so that students at stations could be watching or viewing or reading through the iPads. So the first one is Safari Montage. As I got to the link, I signed in. I have my same login that I log in with my computer that I use for this. And then I did a search up at the top. You can do a search here, or you can also go to the search tab and you can make these a little more specific as far as what you're looking for. And so I just put in frogs to see what would come up. And then you can see the kinds of things that show up in here, as well as grade level, those kinds of things. The one I found most interesting in here is this Animal World Frogs and Toads, and it's actually created by Disney, and it's a 15-minute video, and I did watch the entire video, and it is well done. When I was watching it on the iPad, it did have a closed caption as well. It has little parts where it stops and does a little quiz and asks them some questions. And so if you needed a 15-minute thing for the whole class or station work or something like that, this could certainly be an option for you. So another one I had looked at was Pebble Go. Again, I signed in using a school account on there, W Salem and Panther, to get logged in. And once you get in, if you click on animals, and then from there the search box appears at the top where you can type in frogs. So this comes up with information about frogs, and you can have the words read out loud as well on here. You can see that it moves along while it's being read. This might be something, if you're doing some research and you want students to learn a little bit more about this, you could use this information from here as well. Another one I found was Worldbook Online, the Worldbook Online for kids. If I go back on this one, the same thing, I did a search for frogs, and there are a number of articles on specific kinds of frogs. And then there is, if I just go to frog in general, it shows some great pictures as well as some information. And here, if students were going to try and figure out how to read this and get information, it might be one place to do that. There are two videos over here on the side. I would preview this frog lifecycle one before showing it to students. I'm not sure that it's quite appropriate for them. The vocal sac one is definitely a useful video for that part of it. And the final one, which may be something you do on the iPads or do on your own computer, is the Get Epic site, which has free books. There is an app for this, but I'm using the actual website, so again, it may work a little better if you're on your computer for the website part of it. So if you're not familiar with Get Epic, there are tons of free books, and teachers can get a free account for this, which is kind of cool. So I just went in and did a search again for frogs and came up with a variety of different books. What I like in here is the fact that it's the age range that it can tell you. So I can come over and find books, and I can find read to me books as well. Not only does it have some nonfiction books, but the majority I found were books with frogs in the stories. For example, this Backyard Wildlife one would be good for students to learn and listen to and those kinds of things. What I did notice in here is that they did seem to read quite slow. That's okay, but I thought the reading was a little bit slow. Maybe that was just me. Maybe that's good for your students. Another one I liked in here was A Tale of Two Frogs. And obviously this is not a nonfiction, and it also is not read aloud, but it definitely is a cute story if you're looking at something dealing with frogs. So again, that site was Get Epic. If you have any questions, please let me know.